I'm delighted to be here at the Twilight International Conference being held at New Park Hotel today here in Kilkenny, and many different guests appearing obviously on the agenda, but also joining us today is the Moroccan Ambassador, who I'm going to have a chat with now. Sir, maybe you might just introduce yourself for our listeners and viewers here.
Yeah, I'm actually the Moroccan Ambassador. My name is D.R.Lahcen Mahraoui, and I have been here for 5 years now, so I know Kilkenny very well, and I have been here many times. And we are here delighted to be here today because it's one of our actions to have this kind of diplomacy, people to people. So that's the reason of Twilight, and I'm very, very happy to be here today.
It's so nice to meet you, and many thanks for sharing your time with us today. As I was saying to you maybe before we had a chat for the cameras, it's such an important day really, isn't it, for many, many reasons. First of all, obviously, to be back as groups again, being able to meet after what's been a very difficult 2 years.
Yeah, the 2 years was very difficult for everyone, actually. So thanks God we are still alive, and I think that we are completely back on the wrong track right now, and so life is ongoing right now, and we have the chance to be still alive and to meet all once again. And then think about communities, think about what is positive and what we can do. So this is why I'm here today, and I will never miss this kind of meetings of Twilight, because since the beginning I have been here. I learned a lot, and as I said, I heard this morning, the Twilight is all about integration, about actually being together, thinking together, and building together. So it's a good reason to be here today in Kilkenny.
That's fantastic, and it's really Twilight is all about community, and today is really all about community as well as you know, from a European perspective, from a national perspective. It's fantastic. And again, I suppose maybe just from your own view, having been here now for a number of years, how have you found Ireland? Are we progressing well?
No, you are progressing well. But I'm very lucky actually to be in Ireland, because people are all time complaining about weather. But you are bright, so it's okay. So it's not a problem at all. And the reason, as I told to many friends of mine here in Ireland, that the reason of my presence in Ireland and my own goal is just having friends and building bridges. So with Twilight today and Kilkenny, we are also in position to build many bridges. So coming to this conference is also mean for me to meet the mayor of Kilkenny and to build on what we have already done. So we spoke this morning about how to extend the collaboration that we have between Tisnet and Kilkenny to many other fields. So I brought with me today a kind of convention that could be signed with another school here in Kilkenny. It's this convention that could be a kind of a new bridge that we can build between school to school. It's my way to sustain this kind of relationship.
So
I'm not here forever, but it's very important to leave a kind of very positive footprint behind me. And I think that the future is kids of today, and having these kids discussing together, talking together, playing together, exchanging together is my way of making this kind of relationship sustained. So I met also the president of the Chamber of Commerce. So trade is the backbone of any relationship.
Yes.
It's very important also to extend to this aspect. Sport, and I think that Kilkenny will next year participate in a tournament in Agadir. So there are many aspects, and there are many objectives that we would like to share together and to reach together, and I think that we are on the right way to do so.
Mr. Ambassador, that's a wonderful idea, and again it's about looking into the future, which again obviously is so important. And again, you know, Ireland's relationship with Morocco is growing also because we've opened our embassy there now as well, which is really exciting, isn't it? And greater connectivity.
Exactly. So with the island, it's a big achievement actually, thanks to the work we done with our friends here in Ireland. As I used to say before the opening of the embassy, we cannot clap with one hand. So now we have two hands. And I'm very pleased to work hand in hand with my colleague, James McIntyre, who is in the ambassador in Morocco. He's very happy to be there. And I think that, it's a good year for us to see this relation growing. And it's not only in diplomacy, it's also in culture, it's also in sport, it's again in the parliament diplomacy. The Concola visited Morocco a few years ago, the Kahalik as well. The Speaker of Morocco visited Ireland 2 years ago, and it was the first time in history. So there are a lot of things that we are doing, and I think that Morocco is not that far, and we have a lot of similarities between the two countries, and there is also a lot of complementarity in terms of business, and we need just to meet, to discuss, and to create projects together.
Excellent, excellent. And again, I suppose the opportunity to go to Morocco is increasing too, because we've got increased flight possibilities now as well. And you mentioned the weather. We love our weather here, but sometimes it's nice maybe to get a week or something of kind of guaranteed sunshine. So Morocco is a beautiful place to go.
Yeah, actually, it's one also the point that I discussed I had to discuss with Merti when he visited me lately in the embassy, is how to bring the senior people from Kilkenny to Disney in winter.
Wow.
It's a way for them to be open to a new culture,
yes,
new civilization,
yes,
and also new cuisine, to share with people what we have in common and what we have in difference, and just to start knowing each other and doing things all together. Tourism is one of the keys. Ireland is a touristic country. Morocco is a touristic country as well. And we have now 2 flights, direct flights, one to Marrakesh and the second one to Agadir. And I think that we are also working, because Morocco is also a land of Gulf and island as well. But yeah, only the difference that we have 365 years of sun. So people, if they cannot play golf here, they can play it there. So the flight, they take just 3 hours.
yes.
It's like going from Dublin to Galway. So Morocco is not that far.
Listen, I want to go after what you said there now. I'm definitely going to go right myself. But it's, yeah, and of course, as you know, obviously from your conversations with Marty and so on, tourism is such an important part of Kilkenny as well.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful, again, opportunity perhaps so we can grow and develop new connections. Speaking about sport, have you had a chance to see our national games here, in particular hurling?
Of course, and
Yeah.
I was invited by one of the county around here. I was actually in Wexford, and I was very pleased to be invited to a kind of match between Kilkenny and Wexford. So it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Good.
And it was a lovely one, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed actually the ambience and the way the play, etc. And I think that when talking about culture, it's very important maybe also to see the culture of Irish going to Morocco, to be shared with people. You have a lot of things to share with us. So yeah.
And again, I suppose, your role as ambassador, I mean, in general, the role of ambassador it's obviously so important, but I suppose it's all about creating new relationships, deepening bonds. Would that be your view as well, and in relation to your role?
Yeah, it's what I said actually. I'm a kind of ambassador who is thinking out of the box. And what matters to me is a kind of how to create friendship.
Yes.
First of all, for myself, because when you have friends, it's what matters in life.
Yes.
And when you have friends, it's for life. It's not only for when you are there posting. So that's actually my hope in this. And also building these bridges. So, and I think that since I arrived here, we have built a lot of bridges in terms of education. Because we signed many agreements between universities. So now we have an agreement between Trinity College and Mohammed V University in Rabat and University International Rabat. We have Galway Agadir, and by the end of this month I will go to Galway, because there are 25 professor and student going to Agadir, and this relationship is very, very important and very intense, and they have worked already together, and they have actually reached many results that they published in international journals and so on. And we have also DCU and Marrakesh. We have the School of Architecture of Limerick with Marrakesh as well. We have this big school in Dalwiri on the design and so on with another one in Morocco. So we are trying, and having this background of academic and they know what the academy can mean. So we have also bridges in sport, in culture, and we are planning to do a very big event at Christchurch in the month of June. The date is the 23rd of June, in which we can bring actually 2 bands for Sufi music. Beautiful. That we will share with our friends in Christchurch and around. And I'm also working on interfaith and how to work together and to share what is positive in both countries and what you can share with others.
Mr. Ambassador, it's been wonderful talking to you. It's been wonderful learning about your country, Morocco, and the growing connections that we are going to have between Ireland and Morocco. Many thanks for your time today.
So thank you very much for having me today, and I'm looking forward to do more and more and more. And I think that Kilkenny could have this lead in the region, and I think that in the next year we can reach more results. So once again, thank you very much for having me today.
My pleasure.
Thank you.